imagine a beautiful green piece of land the size of Ireland, about 20,800,000 acres. Now, imagine it on fire. That's exactly what happened in my home country, Bolivia, in 2019. I grew up in an agricultural region, so I was used to the smoke during slash and burn season. But that August, things were very different, and fires were burning out of control. So some friends and I decided we would get some donations to the countryside. I stayed in the city dispatching the packages, while my friend Andrea went to meet the firemen. I remember it was a Sunday night when she called, and I answered only to hear her screaming. She kept pleading, "Carolina, send everything you have. This is a living hell." In the background, I could actually hear people screaming. The flames were reaching their homes, and they were so desperate, they ran into the woods, wearing nothing but flip-flops and carrying small bottles of water to stop the fires. It was so dark, some people went missing, and I could hear their families screaming their names. I sat down crying hopelessly because I knew I had nothing left to send. And then the phone rang again. This time it was a company that heard about us and wanted to help immediately. After that, hundreds of Bolivians were sending their support. And I felt hope because I knew we were not alone. That's when I met an awesome nonviolence movement called Ríos de Pie, or Standing Rivers, that fights for environmental and human rights. A month later, we were managing $175,000 while distributing donations all over the country. In the middle of this, when about 3 million animals were burned to death, civil society efforts were met with violent backlash from the Evo Morales regime. Not only was he actually denying the fires or the urgency of them, he was stopping international aid to come to us. Environmentalists were labeled and called liars, agitators, and fake activists, while they were holding donations in customs. For us, none of this made any sense until we found out the truth. 70% of those fires were actually man-made, and the responsible was the government. For years, they had been distributing land inside protected areas to their political party allies, only to get future votes, even by displacing indigenous land and people from that same area. They were also allowing big farmers or settlers to burn inside forests, only to expand the agricultural frontier. Do you know that right now you can find illegal coca leaf plantations or soy plantations inside of protected areas? After all of this information came out, Standing Rivers began protesting, and we held Evo Morales, the president himself, accountable for this ecocide. And let me tell you, after this, the backlash, the threats, and the smear campaigns were relentless. A few weeks later, during September, Pablito, a volunteer and brother of a dear Standing Rivers member, died during the fires. 11 more firemen have met the same fate ever since. In Bolivia, since 2019, roughly 41 million acres have been burned intentionally. Half of that number is going on inside our forests. That means around 10 million soccer fields. In Bolivia, we the rebels sing a tune that says that no one surrenders, no one gets tired. That's why, for the last 5 years, Standing Rivers has been helping firemen and the brave park rangers, while also protesting and demanding some action from the government who's accountable. I often think and wonder, do they realize that after they set those first 20 million acres on flames, the biggest fire they started was actually within ourselves? If you wish to help us, please contact me. With your financial aid, we can provide more protective gear to these brave firemen and park rangers, and also provide very necessary brigades of psychological and medical aid. We, Standing Rivers, can continue our work on the ground while we are denouncing corruption, reporting threats, and also fires. I ask you to join our fight, our very noble fight, not only against wildfires, but against the regime that enables them. The same regime that is willing to burn us to the ground just to rule over our ashes. I am truly very grateful for your support, and I am convinced our Mother Earth is also grateful. Now we can make her happy if we start spreading her truth. Thank you.